Stories have been a huge trend in the nonprofit sector for the last 5 years, and things are changing, and storytelling is becoming a much more intentional act. Our challenge is getting our current donors to give more and acquiring new donors who care about our cause. This is not a new or a small task for our sector, our storytelling. Hi, Joy Olson, Blockbuster Fundraising, on our countdown to 2016 fundraising success with our new daily tip. All week we've been concentrating on storytelling, and today, together, Network for Good and Vanessa Chase of the Storytelling Nonprofit teamed up to survey more than 400 nonprofits about storytelling. Together, Vanessa and Network for Good wrote a report that was really created to identify trends in storytelling and to make key recommendations that can help you get better results for storytelling. So we're going to look at some of what they came up with in their white paper today, and I will give you a link to that white paper at the end of our video. The participants in this survey saw positive impact tied to storytelling. One such quote, "Personal visits to donors where we updated them on the work of the organization and stories about our youth resulted in a huge increase in our year-end gifts." Storytelling helped get checks from people that had never before written a non-membership check. And the engagement they said they received on Facebook when utilizing storytelling is tremendous. And one nonprofit said 20% improvement in year-end giving because of storytelling. They have some recommendations for you too. They say it's wonderful to see that many nonprofits are finding success with storytelling, and here are some recommendations to help your organization. Number one, measure the impact of your stories. Do a letter that one tells a story and one doesn't. Measure the difference. 2, create a culture of philanthropy. 3, use more video. 4, create a storytelling strategy. And 5, get more mileage from your stories. The report points out that you really need to create a culture of storytelling. Maya Angelou once said, "There is no greater agony than the bearing an untold story inside you." The nonprofit sector is full of great stories to share, yet there seems to be a persistent problem with collecting and sharing those stories. So they gave you a few hints here. You need to collect and tell your stories well, and here's how to do it. Big suggestion is to make time for storytelling. If you want your organization to tell more stories, they say start by making time for storytelling. Provide colleagues with more frequent updates about your work and about the stories you hear from your donors and your staff. Spend the first 5 minutes of a meeting inviting people to share updates and stories about their work. This is going to give you a potential for story leads, and it gives the staff a chance to personally connect and build rapport. The report says that fundraising is still the bedrock of our work, and boy do we know that, but stories allow us to enhance the fundraising appeals and messaging. And the challenge is telling the right story during the right appeal and coordinating your storytelling on an ongoing basis. So you got to work it into your plan, your fundraising plan. Get a storytelling plan in place, and you won't be caught short at year end for all the great stories you're going to need to get that money in the door. Create a storytelling strategy. And as we mentioned before, they suggest add storytelling into your fundraising plan. And you need to know the answers to these questions to do that. 1, which appeals are going out when? 2, what is the ask? 3, who is the donor audience? And 4, which story will work well with which appeal? They also give some examples of great storytelling, and you see them there on your screen. I went to the Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital. It was a YouTube, and it was absolutely wonderful. Important point here with your storytelling, use more video. You know, in mid-2014, Cisco forecast that video would account for 79% of all consumer internet traffic by 2018. I'll bet it's already surpassed that now in 2016. This is an incredible update in video content, yet most nonprofits are not actively producing videos. The myth is that an effective video must have high resolution cost and be a polished final product. That's really not the case at all anymore. And also, listen to this, development directors. This is important. Consider the fact that when you upload your video to your YouTube channel, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, and that including video and an introductory email, an acquisition email, reduced the number of subscriber opt-outs by 75%. Can you believe that? Can you imagine what that's going to do to your acquisition numbers? Gotta get with it. The nonprofit sector stands to gain a lot from their video storytelling. This is Joy Olson saying thanks for having been here today. We'll be back again tomorrow with a daily tip. We've been giving daily tips since the first day of fall. That's 100 days of tips for you. Creative tips, best practices from all the best fundraising thought leaders and blogs and books and ideas and white papers. Hopefully this will help you in some way for blockbuster fundraising year-end results. Sure hope so. So thanks for being here. See you soon. Bye-bye.